The Affinity Federal Credit Union Premium Visa presents itself as a straightforward financial tool that prioritizes long-term affordability over flashy gimmicks. When looking at the core facts, the standout feature is the competitive annual percentage rate for purchases and balance transfers, which sits between 12.10% and 16.10% depending on creditworthiness. Even at the highest end of that range, the rate remains notably lower than what is typically found with big bank rewards cards. This makes it an incredibly practical choice for anyone who occasionally carries a monthly balance and wants to avoid the suffocating interest charges often associated with retail credit products. There is no annual fee and no application fee, which removes the barrier to entry and ensures the card does not cost anything to simply keep in a wallet for emergencies or large planned expenses. The card is particularly helpful for those dealing with the pain point of high-interest debt consolidation. While many cards charge a standard 5% fee for balance transfers that can scale indefinitely, this card caps that fee at $500. For someone moving a very large amount of debt, this cap provides significant savings that can be redirected toward paying down the principal balance. However, it is important to remember that balance transfers do not benefit from a grace period. Interest begins accruing immediately on the transaction date. On the flip side, for standard purchases, there is a generous grace period of at least 25 days after the close of each billing cycle to pay the balance in full before any interest is charged. Another small but appreciated detail is the lack of a minimum interest charge, meaning users are not penalized with a flat fee if they owe a tiny amount of interest. Despite these strengths, there are clear drawbacks that users must weigh against the benefits. The biggest hurdle for frequent flyers is the 2% foreign transaction fee applied to every purchase made in US dollars abroad. This makes the card a poor companion for international travel. Additionally, using this card for cash advances is quite expensive, carrying a higher variable interest rate of 18% along with a transaction fee of either $10 or 3% of the amount, whichever is greater. Just like balance transfers, cash advances start accruing interest the moment the money is received. Because the interest rates are variable and tied to the prime rate, the cost of borrowing can increase if market conditions change, which adds a layer of unpredictability for those who prefer a fixed repayment schedule. There are also the standard penalty costs to consider. Late payments or return payments can result in fees up to $37 if the issue repeats within 6 billing cycles. This card really shines for the disciplined consumer who wants a low-cost, no-frills option for managing domestic spending or consolidating high-interest debt without being gouged by uncapped fees. It addresses the pain point of expensive debt by offering a rate that respects the user's bottom line. It is a reliable, utilitarian tool that avoids the complexity of high-fee structures found elsewhere in the market, provided the user stays within the borders of the United States and avoids the high costs of cash advances. In summary, the Affinity Federal Credit Union Premium Visa is a solid, low-maintenance choice defined by its lack of an annual fee and its capped balance transfer charges. It serves as an effective way to lower interest costs compared to the national average. However, the risks include the variable nature of the APR, which can rise with the market, the lack of an interest-free period on transfers, and the high costs associated with international use or cash withdrawals. Anyone using this card should remain aware that late payments will trigger significant fees and that debt consolidation requires immediate attention to interest accrual from day one.